let's talk about manifesting and abundance and how this, goes along with that. Because so how can I manifest and feel abundance if I'm not trying to control anything, if I'm not trying to
Yes, yes,
change anything on the outside?
yes, yes. And there seemed to be a place of friction with non-duality and manifestation. And I like to bring them together. It's like my message is shifting towards that because I feel this difference is before, if I refer to my own experience, I was trying to manifest on the outside so that I could feel fulfilled.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
wanted more acquisition, more money, more success, more achievement, more love. And I was trying to find this very, very hard. Like I was working really, really hard.
Yes.
And I came to a place of seeing that I had tried everything, but I was still feeling unfulfilled.
Right.
And then there was a turn inward. Like,
Yes.
oh, there's nothing on the outside that I have to change. There is mm, nothing on the outside that will make me ultimately
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, that's so important, right? Because that is the realization that happens.
Yes, it
And
starts to dawn on you like,
and it
oh,
can be really scary.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes. And
Yes,
in
it can.
fact, the fear of being able to see that there is nothing out there that's going to provide me with a sense of inner peace. And that, when I have thought my whole life that I'm going to be able to manipulate everything until I'm finally feeling this
Yeah.
inner peace. All of a sudden, when you clearly can see that's not true, it can be, and that can actually cloud me from the awakening I had had. That
Yes,
can be,
this happened to me before
hmm
the awakening.
yeah,
And it's a place of I felt really disheartened. Like I felt like something's really wrong with me because everyone seemed okay, but I'm
yes.
clearly not enjoying pursuing these things anymore.
Yes. It can almost seem like depression, like if you think about
Yes.
the the symptoms of depression where you're no longer, and you actually can fall into kind of a place of depression when you start awakening.
Yes,
and
it's
and
like
your attachment to the external circumstances, the realization that actually this is an inside job and my focus on trying to change things out here is not going to help.
mhm.
It can lead to,
Yes, it's a
seems like a
period
depression.
that can feel empty.
Yes,
Yes, and being
yes,
alone and reflecting, that's a normal.
yes,
Yes, and then the realization a little bit later came with, but nothing on the outside is making me sad either.
right.
That started to be very interesting. Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, or if this is making me sad, let me use the tools
Yeah,
to see, because we're basically looking at the world as a mirror, and,
yeah,
this is psychology, basic psychology that goes way back
yeah.
to the early 1900s. The world as the mirror, that whatever I'm seeing out here is a reflection of something going on within me. That can be really difficult the first time somebody starts looking at that.
Yes, and at the same time, it's very empowering because you realize
Very.
the power is within. It's all
I
it
mean, I remember, growing up in the 70s, and it was common that amongst family and friends and gatherings, our conversations would revolve around things that are going on out there, what they're doing, what they're saying, what's happening out here, what's happening out there. We would maybe complain about it. We would give our opinions about it. But nobody ever said, what does that say about me? What does that really say about me deeply? The
Mhm.
way that I'm reacting and responding to this, I can feel it. I used to sit and hear these conversations and I would feel very stirred up and emotional sometimes. But in my environment that I grew up in, there wasn't a space to say, so how are you feeling right now? And what is that, what are your personal feelings and how
Mm.
does that relate to what's going on with you internally?
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And so when I started doing that through therapy and other things like that, because we still believe in therapy, right?
yeah.
It's just we're
Of
not
course.
doing therapy.
Yeah.
We're not doing the classic therapy, but it has a lot of the aspects of traditional therapy in it. When I started doing that, it felt very awkward there for a while because I was so used to pointing out here. I was raised that way, and everybody does it, even
Yes.
now,
Yeah.
even in social circles that I'm in now, it's happening. And so I, s- I see it, and then I try to have my own inner circle of close friends where we can, instead of just focusing out here all the time and complaining or thinking that's so great out there and that's really not good, we can stop and say, what is that reflecting? I'm seeing this great thing out here. What does that reflect? It's something great going on with me
Yeah.
that I am ready to see,
Yeah.
or there's something that's bothering me about this going on out here that I'm ready to see that. I'm ready to see what does that say? What does that have to do with me right now? And so I get how that can be difficult when we're not used to it. But yeah,
But it's
that's
very empowering because you start to see more clearly, like you clean your lens of
yes,
confusion, you clear the fog, and your actions start to be clearer. Everything start to manifest faster
yes,
because you don't have all of these programs that you need to work really, really hard. You need to learn more. You can't go out there because you're not ready. All of that dropping, then it's like everything just effortlessly unfold.
yes,
And to come back with the manifestation question about that prior angle that I had before, that I need to attain something to feel okay or to feel better, or I need to have this. When you start to, with the process of integration, of realization, of awareness, awakening, you start to see the construct, you start to dismantle it. And then the
yes,
joy I feel is to allow desire to guide you intuitively, because each of our personality is different. Everyone has a unique expression and everyone has a gift to bring to life. And when you start to follow the intuitive guidance without the need for that thing to absolutely appear, there is more fluidity in our movement. There is more, like, even changing direction becomes easier because you're not fixed. I have to stay here to feel safe. I can just, okay, this doesn't resonate anymore. That can go. And it's more
right,
fluid. And that's where joy, happiness start to bubble up, because some people, they say, I'm in this process, but all I feel is neutral and I don't feel the joy. And that's kind of a place that we traverse in this
yes,
process. And the more the personal structure is let go, the more joy is revealed
yes,
by
yeah,
us doing what we love, by us allowing our desire to guide us. Because there's nothing wrong with the desire. It's the attachment and the
yes,
expectation that this will bring us something. But when we
yes,
start from the place of wholeness, we are already whole. It's only the cherry on top, then. It's just let's play with this because it's fun.
Yeah, and then, where's the desire coming from? Is the desire just a pure, innocent desire that wants to be manifested, and I'm intuitively pursuing that from non-attachment? Or am I trying to manifest something and I'm very, very disappointed if it's not being manifested? So if there's extreme disappointment about not being able to manifest something, there you go again. Because what does that symbolize? I'm trying to manifest this and I'm attached to it. So
Mm-hmm.
we can look at why. Why am I attached to that? What does that actually symbolize for me? Once I can get deep into like the values of it, that what value do I think I'm going to get from this thing that I'm trying to
Mm.
manifest? Get down to the deeper things, then we can realize, oh, okay, there are many ways that this value can be revealed to me. It's not just this thing.
Yes, yes, yes.
I don't have to be attached to what I'm trying to manifest.
I can be of service, but I'm not responsible.
Yes,
Don't have to take upon myself that I need to save people, that I need to have a lot of value for them. It's really the relaxation of the surge of being someone or
yes,
attaining some state.
yes, yes. Well, let's say, well, I really wanted to, um, take this course so I would get a certification so I can build my self-confidence. Um, yeah, you can build self-confidence. I feel like our tools help with that, but yet there are many ways to build self-confidence. So it's good to understand, what am I trying to gain from this thing I'm trying to manifest out here?
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, just be aware that this, like, let's say self-confidence might be something I want more of it. It's okay. We can be self-realized and still say, I would like to have more self-confidence to put myself out there to help other
Mm-hmm.
people. There's nothing wrong with that. But to understand the deeper thing that we're looking for, not the specific thing we're looking for, is helpful.
Yes. Would you say the deeper thing might be I love to connect and I'm happy to serve?
Yes, I love to connect and I'm happy to serve, um, because I love to connect with certain people. That's why we're saying we're looking for the people that are resonating with what we're saying for
Yes.
the small group, because we're looking for people that aren't content sitting around talking about gossiping, blaming other, all this stuff out here. And but what we want to do is just, we want to be present with what's going on like deep within me, rather than focusing out there. And that's, it's like changing the habit of how I'm relating with the world. And so, when we think about the self-actualization and self-realization, um, it's happening to where we're opening up and realizing that there's a lot more going on, that I am a part of everything after all.
Yes.
And then yet it can collapse back into where I'm feeling separate again. And I guess, that can be very reassuring for someone that's having that experience. And what
Yes.
we're trying to do is help eliminate the, going back and forth.
Yes, to stabilize in effortlessness, effortless
Yes.
being, to stabilize. There might be a need to look at what's happening within. It's kind of a turning within. And I
Yeah.
hear that some people, they did a lot of that work. And when self-realization came for them, it was quite gentle and simple. It was just like,
Yes.
oh. And some other people, like I am one of them, I had done therapy in my life, so I had the capacity to hold myself within a space of love. There was already self-love, but I had not really looked at any of the program that was happening. So when self-realization came, it felt really destabilizing. And I had this effect of I got it, I lost it, and it was really intense for me. So I really needed to stabilize. And how
Yes.
to stabilize in effortless being, I could not just do it like that, like not, oh, just effortless being. It's quite simple. I couldn't. I needed tools to really allow everything to come up in awareness. Every subtle sensation, I need to do something. I need to help.
Mhm.
Every like little every disturbance, they were big at first, and then they were getting like more subtle and subtle, and I still do use the tool. I still do. Like when something feels jarring, I
Yes.
use the tool and I look, what is it? What does it say about me? Even if I know me is just a thought, an idea, and it's just a construct, I can still look at it like,
Yes.
oh, I need this. Oh, this is this. My main deficiency story was I am a failure. And sometimes I forget, oh, yeah, that's again, that's this thing again.
Yes. Yes.
But I have more compassion with it. Like I have no resistance. I'm like, oh, poor thing.
Yes. It is, it's fascinating. And that's what I call how subconsciously the default programming comes in place, because I no longer believe that anymore, but I'm acting as if I do.
I'm trying to prove my program was I have failed at something because I
Okay.
failed that. I took on upon the belief that I failed.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
needed to prove I'm not a failure. So I did all kinds of things to try to prove it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
sometimes there is subtle energy that are still appearing that I'm like, oh, it's here. Okay, I see you. I hear you. You can relax. It's fine. All is
Yes.
well. You don't
Thank
need to
you.
save this person. This person is an
Right.
adult. It's taking care of its own thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Feel we're coming back round circle with the beginning of the talk is to be an adult, to function, to feel safe within. And
Yes.
looking
Again.
at all of that is it might seem a lot at first,
Yeah.
but it's really, really simple. The more you look at it, the more you see how simple it is, these
Yeah.
mechanisms. And we all have the same, like kind of same flavor.
That's what's fascinating about this work is how unique we each are. We're
Yes,
all so very unique and yet experiencing the same thing.
yes, yes. And that's what amazes people when they participate in small group. They start to
Yeah.
see, oh, I'm not alone.
Right.
Oh, me too. I resonate so much with this other person. And that's immensely supportive for everyone.
Yes. Yeah. The
Yeah.
details, the little details might be very different, but as we go deeper into behind the details, we realize it's the
Yeah.
same thing happening
Yes.
for
Yeah.
all of us. And that's why I think that if someone hasn't had this powerful awakening, this self-realization yet, the tools can actually bring you to that
That's it. Yes.
because you
And
start
you will have to do
seeing,
the work anyway. Before
yes,
or after, it's going to have to be done. So it doesn't matter when.
right. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, unless you are bliss, like you are so blessed that everything falls and nothing come back. But I've not seen this.
No.
I don't know. Maybe some like really like Jesus or like like some. I've not seen this.
And that's very
Everything
practical.
is
Yeah.
going. Sometimes like things are coming back, and we have to just look at them and allow them
That
to be.
it's good that you're saying that because, we need to be careful about what we're expecting.
Yeah.
We need to
Yeah.
be careful about what we're expecting. We're still in a life. We're still in a body, and
Yes.
the whole system is trying to keep us alive. It's
Yes.
still trying to help us get our needs met. It's still trying to protect us from danger. Driving if someone has to drive in the city every day, like an hour a day,
You
right,
need,
just that right there, your nervous system is having to work every day because there's a knowingness somewhere in the system that I could die in this vehicle.
yes, yes. And I
And
also feel like it's important to, even if when we see that we don't have to believe anything, that we can keep the belief that are serving us, that
yes,
those that are serving
yes,
my personality, if I feel I love to put some money aside for my old days, it's totally
yes,
fine to do this. It doesn't have to be, but it's totally fine. So we
yes,
don't have to put all belief in the trash can and then we're not, it's okay to keep those that it's when they relax and they're not creating anxiety in our system anymore. I
right.
feel like I love to work alone at home, but before I was doing it because I needed to hide and feel safe. Now I still do it because I love it. It's
Yeah,
but I still do it. That doesn't have to change. It's my
right.
it's where I'm coming from that has changed.
Yes,
Yes, if I love to have a lot of friends, I can keep a lot of friends. I don't have to be a monk but if I love to be alone, I can be alone. There's no anxiety around it's wrong to be alone. It's not wrong if you love it.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the beauty of these tools. We can question everything and see if I do have a belief about money and future security, I can look at that. I can see, does this make sense? Do I want to continue to build for my future? Again, Maslow's hierarchy of needs to be in place. Um, because I actually do need to make sure that I'm financially secure. There is truth in that. I'm not saying that you should be judging someone who is struggling financially, but I mean, I see a lot of people who have nothing simply because they never adapted the belief that it's up to me to make sure that I have a financial future established for myself. There might have been a belief blocking that. Oh, money is evil. So collecting money for my financial future is an evil
Hmm.
thing to do. There might be a belief that's blocking someone from actually taking care of these things.
Yes.
The fact that I have a stable financial future gives me a foundation from which I can awaken into my true nature
Yes. Yes.
because I'm not as much in a
Exactly.
survival mode
Yes.
anymore.
Yes. And some people will um it's rare, but some people will just say, okay, I trust life. It's
Yes,
okay. My needs are met every day, like basic needs are met, and that's totally fine as well. So it depends. But yeah, I in
what's going to
myself
happen though as I
there was
start getting older, if I don't, like maybe some people might say, well, I don't have to worry about anything. Everything's going to work out. I'll be provided for just like the birds and the bees are. And I have kids anyway, so, they'll take care of me.
that's a landing place that it's not really, really safe or stable. Yes, it's tricky. Yeah, sometimes they with the mind, the trap of the universe will take care of me. That's something that is not really what is said here. It's okay to have trust, and at the
Yes,
same time, I feel that the work with this tool is in myself. If I come back to my direct experience, it provided enough self-confidence that I know I can be at peace with my financial future because I am the source of the energy.
yes,
The energy is outsourced.
yes,
Is it feels like when we start to um, be free of this program, it feels like we have more energy, more creative energy, more self-confidence, more capacity to charge for our services, and we can live in this world, in this physical reality, where we have to eat,
yes,
that we have to have a roof, And we can even
Yes.
allow more. I'm starting to question, how can I allow more abundance? How can I
Yes.
continue to value my what I'm offering people and with integrity,
Yes.
keeping
Beautiful.
integrity, but at the same time, honoring my needs. And then also some belief around abundance. Sometimes the belief is if I take something, someone will have less. But that can also be looked at. No?
Everything can be looked at.
Yeah.
I think that, also personal responsibility is a big thing that happens. And, as we're talking about self-realization, self-actualization, and we become aware that anything is possible. I can manifest, I can have abundance, but yet I'm the one responsible for what
Yes.
I'm manifesting. I'm the one, so not only are we owning and claiming how is this affecting me, this that's going on out here, but we're taking responsibility for everything, including our financial future,
Yes.
our current, living environment, the
Yes.
relationships that we're in,
Mm-hmm.
so we're no longer pointing out there and blaming things, acting like the political candidate is the problem. And so I'm going to spend hours and hours debating about the political candidate instead of just taking personal responsibility for myself.
Yes.
What do I want? If I'm complaining that the government, whatever, and I'm acting like the current political um, situation is causing me some kind of financial, um, issue, why don't I just turn it around and say, what do I want
Yes.
financially? And how can I be responsible for that instead of
Yes.
thinking someone out here is responsible for
Yes. 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 Taking full responsibility. Yes.
which that can be, one of the reasons why a person would decide not to start looking within, because I don't want to take personal responsibility. I want to keep blaming it on everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get
There's
that.
a price to pay.
Yes,
It's but it made it seem like an easier thing to do until it isn't anymore.
right.
Yeah, everything is in its own time. And so if someone is listening to us and is ready
Yes,
to 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 take full responsibility and at the same time to taste the fruit of it, because we
right,
wouldn't do it if there was no fruit.
right.
The fruit of freedom and happiness.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
it's worth it. It's worth the effort. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
I believe it is. I've been acquainted with these tools for many, many years. The way that we've configured them right now, we've been using them that way for 3 years now. And over 100 people have learned the tools and are using them in their lives. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's a valid set of tools that can really, really help.
Yes. And if anyone is interested, before we end, we will put the link.
I mean, the main thing is to get on our mailing list, right? And then you'll
Inform.
get notices of our meetings and stuff.
Yes. Yes. And
Yeah.
if people want to work one-on-one, I am available. Joan, you are
Yes.
available too. There is
Yes.
Mindful Integration website where we all appear as well. And yeah, to try it is to already just see if it's for you, because it's not for everyone. But
No.
if it is for you, it can be very transformative. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, Julie. Thanks a lot. It
Okay.
was great talking today.
Thank you for joining.